Usual. Link everyone to what I'm doing. Blah blah blah. I decided I would stream because why not? Just had a crown done earlier today, so you know I'm like living my best life. Best life. Back end stuff which you can't do beforehand. But not that I even like streaming on YouTube particularly. Just find it not my favorite platform most of the time lately. I was way more into it before, but now it's fine. I just haven't been finding a lot of content I even want to watch on it. I'm just find it very hard to like it. About Discord. And two different things, so now I can pretend like that was helpful. I am live on Room. Okay. Too many things there to set up. But I got that set up. Golden, spending like doing useful things with my time. Back to messing with the game. Important chats in play. Alright, so not doing much for the painting world right now. I'm still debating on the mechanic of saving things. I mean, it's interesting because it gives you a reason to save things. Then I got a lot of extra dialogue and try to fully realize that area, and I just don't know. It doesn't seem that might be a lot. It might be wasting a lot of time on something that doesn't need it. I don't know. The painting world idea is pretty fun though, so it's kind of hard to want to throw it out, and it does work with some stuff. So anyway, I'm redoing all of the rooms to fit the regular world setup. So I'm gonna get rid of a lot of the weird crap like these things and just have human rooms, you know, like the stuff that's just designed for people, and I Poppet interact with those. It just comes out to be a more fun game. Because I gotta redo this whole area, but that's okay. You know, this room was part of the old concept. Gotta make a greenhouse too. That's gonna be maybe tonight. This is gonna be the library. This is like a waiting room. This is an I don't know room. I could be another one of the be like another carnival room or something like that. Give them a couple rooms. I don't know. It makes the room seem less unique and cool if it's used twice, so it might be not fun to use a gimmick a second time. I don't know if we get a little more value out of that stuff though, so. Most interesting things I've done so far recently was now the magician costs curse to use, but also can be launched at things to hurt them. I should probably be rounding it though. That's kind of cool. The star now lights up and heals by trading away sanity. If you're in the darkness, it doesn't take that much. If you're already in the light, it pretty much is like a free. Then there's a reverse option now where it can drain your health to give you sanity, which means you can stay in the darkness for longer. So, I have those two things going on now. Hierophant lights up now just because. Yes. I redid all the stuff now, so when she actually does things, she actually moves her legs. Like I redid the entire thing, so it basically just blends the two off all the all poses. So no matter what she does, it will still move her legs. I heard a oh. Second. I'll check some of our best. Weird, I heard thumping and I thought for some reason something was out there. Must be something on the roof hitting it or something like that, like an animal or something. I don't know. I might turn this into a little circus room, a second one. It was kind of boring to do it twice, but I do have a lot of assets to play with, so I kind of want to. Then maybe Patrick's room. I'm gonna just get rid of this whole bucket fort thing. I don't like it. Nothing about the bucket fort makes me happy. It does not spark joy. It just plays weird. It's just I don't know. Nothing about it seems. I'm just gonna get rid of all the. I thought it would be cooler than it was. Every time I played through it, it's just the camera clip all over the place. It just be really tiny and weird, and I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to make something interesting. In most cases, it's usually about using tables and stuff, make stuff work. And anything that's low. Hmm. I don't know what it was out there. That weird thumping. It just kind of bugs me. I was like doing my little game thing, getting all excited, and I'm hearing the boom, boom noise. Hmm. But since I would almost certainly die in any single horror film, I immediately went and checked every room in the house. Like, oh, something's in here. There was nothing in there. Nothing. Not a zip. But I just automatically am going to check these things. What I do, how I am. Or once I saw a light in the attic, the first thing I did was go over and grab the largest kitchen knife I could find and then go up into the attic. It's like, hey, wait a second, why is there a light in here? Someone living in our attic? Because I've seen plenty of creepypasta things of people living in attics and things like that. I was like, yeah, sure, maybe someone's in there. No, there was no one in there. Spoiler, it turns out that there is actually a vent up there. And during the right portion of the day, light comes through the vent, making it light up in the attic. I didn't know that. I just walked by it all these times, never looked up at that exact point in the day. Then, yeah, it turns out. You need this thing to walk off the whole level? I don't think so. Something fun with it, though. I probably looked really stupid at the time, but that's okay. After all, what if there had really been someone there? I'm used to living out in the woods, so, you know. No one's coming to help you. It's the best way to put it out in the woods. Like, you know, the police are like 40 minutes away. By the time they get there, it's resolved one way or another. You're either dead or they ran away. That's pretty much how it goes. It was actually kind of nice, to be honest. Like that most people there were pretty nice. I mean, I wouldn't go near their houses at night unless you value your life, but you know, not all. I need to get rid of these stupid thingies if I don't want to see them. Redesign rooms here. So if I tag this key here. How big of an arena do I want for Patrick? He doesn't even need anything to find him because he just leaps for mostly. He does seem to be able to find his way around this. Okay. Well, first off, I don't need these reminder texts. I started putting them on the doors here, which made it a lot easier. I'm gonna turn one of the fans on. It was really cool, and then I turned off all the fans to stream, and like 5 seconds for the computer, the heater, and the skies to. All right. Blah blah blah. Not 100% certain to do this, but I might make some sort of maze out of these things and have you fight Patrick and them. A lot of this crap just needs to be taken out of here. I don't like any of it. Giving Patrick a big area to fight in seems kind of cool. I was going to do something with pipes up here and a key. I don't know about that. We'll think about that. Mostly I wanted to keep Patrick and all that available and then use this area and rework it. You're going to be able to go out of this window. Probably not. Unless I want some way over here. Like, maybe that's how you get into here. I had a hole through the wall here, so you could actually just take a pipe through it. So unless I'm going to redo the wall, I might actually have to redo it. Does it stick through? Yeah, it sticks through, so I got to redo the wall anyway. What's on the wall? Decal that's not on anything? Excellent. So let's see. Guess I need bookshelves. Got a crown earlier today, and I am just not feeling like, ah, yeah, this is amazing. More like, I don't feel like doing anything, so I might as well do this because I do want to get this done. I could code in, how Charlotte works. I don't know if I want to do that, but maybe. Are these bookshelves kind of crappy? I can't remember if they... Actually, this is just a bookshelf, just like the others. So, what are we doing with this here? Presumably a library would be pretty big. 5 probably gets it done. I'll have some rows of bookshelves over here to play with. Put books all over them or just random things to make it look kind of neat. Get a very feng shui here. Important. I don't want to use an additional model just for... This is like a double. Just make it look a little more interesting than the same one over and over. What I might do is just put 2 of these over here. I even fit 2 of these here? I don't think I can. I can only fit a single here. That's where the door is. I might move the door though. Am I gonna move the door? Maybe. On the ground. It does fit. Oh, wait. Way smarter to do it this way. All the small ones, anyway. May have just random pipes going up above and not always a way to easily get to them. I don't hate this idea. The upside of these is I don't have to redo all the stuff on them, so that's an important thing to note. Plus I have the ones with drawers on them too. Get rid of those because these already have the stuff on them. Probably gonna be a clear path through there. I really can't get away with this. It doesn't make sense. It has to be a level while still looking like a place humans would use. Cycle these chairs because they are less work than making a new chair, though that chair isn't too bad. I guess I could add a level block on it. I guess I can get it with more reading lamps in this one anyway. Couldn't really do that before, but now I can. I wish they'd separated this out in furniture and everything, or not. Lock wasn't on. This one has a rod on it. This one does not have a rod. One does not spark joy. That looks much better. Gotta choose the right curtains, you know, very important. I think I'll have like 2 rows of shelves here. I won't do a sideways one of this. I'll just do this kind of thing here, and I'll make it like rows of shelves here, something in between. And things could be changed later. I'm just I got most of the mechanics figured out for mobility and everything. I don't think I'm gonna add much more. So it's just gonna be whatever I got going here. I'll line these up a little better and then move them both. Maybe I'll put something in between them. Maybe I just like having that better. No. I guess running between the shelves is also kind of fun for Poppet, so... maybe I do want something in between sometimes. That out in the open, just so it's kind of got its own little thing going on. I will put this back where it was, I don't even know. I need some lights in here too. Maybe one of these lights? Oh, I kind of like those just for the chapel, though. I'm not sure if I like them in here or not. Maybe I do. I have no idea what went on there, but I hate every moment of it. I don't know if I like the orange lights that much. Careful with the bullet stuff, and she should be able to get up on top of half this crap and it'd be okay. Here. Where is she trying to get to? And these tables exist, I guess, but I need to take these tables out because you can see through the bottom of them, so they're kind of crap. I'll get a replacement. And that crown is just draining my happiness level. This does not bring joy. I mean, don't get me wrong, Tooth wasn't actually really hurting, it's just the ground was all placed and it was slowly disintegrating, so not a lot could be done other than to get a new one. But it's like $2,000. Sometimes you just do something with terrible ROI instead of good ROI that would make me money to buy more crowns. There's like a map on it or something. The table's in the center or something. I also want the Poppet box to be on top of something. Just kind of move around things here and see if I get some interesting ideas of what I want to do with it. Because, you know, as it is now, it's not fine, but there's not going to be more lamps on the ground. That crap is not okay, so Poppet will have to get up high in order to gain light. Okay, so how interested am I in this setup here? Am I interested in this? I don't think I am. Awkward. But I can use book staircases. This kind of stuff's weird. Plus, I don't really want to make square or these are like 8 sides, so octagonal table. In my chat. But I am going to do stacks of books to get up on top of it. That is true. There's piles of books everywhere. What I want, and everything should be. That's how you get places. Supposed to be near percent stacks of books. I want things to be interactable. Sometimes I'm just looking for inspiration. No? There's pillows I can put on a couch. Luck. Really match. No couch in this? There is. Really as nice as the other one, isn't it? No more of this crap. I'm gonna keep this where it is for the moment to figure out what I want to do with it, but you kind of want like a second area here that's kind of walled off. Right back. Nice slow day. I'm working on these. I want to check and make certain it's okay to have alcohol before because I was at the dentist. It's actually been about 10 hours since I left. Uh, important information here. Game dev? Nah. Looking at printing things there. They're saying 24 hours. Never mind. I'll just one outing. I was all excited because I'm like, alcohol reduces pain. Yes, it does. Also, not a good idea. I was debating on if it was. I mean, they did do like a local numb thingy on my mouth, which isn't like amazingly. A lot of it was wearing off after a few hours, but it's really better safe than sorry. I don't desperately need it. It just would have been nice. So, I want one of these in there, maybe. I was like that tall. Freaking coat hanger. Like 7? Coat hangers usually aren't bigger than a door. Make a reading corner and then a whole bunch of bookshelves in a place. Some smaller shelves. I can grab that from this other room too, the magician room. Heading in drawers takes forever. They fit. Good, very good. Instead of having something like that, instead have something like this. Probably rotate it. That's something that's a lot shorter. Position with these over this thing so people could watch. There's no one currently watching at the moment, but it's probably a good practice to do. You know, there's only so much space. Actually, the same one. Do something tall to do combat on top of. Honestly, I should probably do it like this. Maybe make a small room and then have it kind of locked, and you get in there by getting up onto these things here, and sneak your way in. I want to lock a room off? I don't think I want to extend this hallway at all, or the chapel. I was going to, but I don't have to, so I could make a room. Sure, let's see how that looks. I'm just going to grab one of the walls that's already made. Do it twice, so I want to rotate it exactly 90 and I wasn't paying attention. Important things to do. Maybe Patrick's room will actually be here instead. I don't hate that. Sure, well. One of these walls could do the thing, right? I thought. Yeah, this one does. Off this. Those just so I don't gotta keep messing with it. Let's like double Jesus. Apparently they made a change. Now I have to go to like the actual sub thingy in order to do that. Select all adjacent. Go to this one, make it the only one it uses. Guess I'll set to 10, but I'm probably not going to worry too much about it right now. I do it on this one too. Not. What's this one? Is it? Oh, never mind. Up there. Great night to find a couple of things alcohol and watch a terrible movie that I would never watch if I was sober. But not meant to be. Not meant to be at all. Alright, so I'm going to make a separate little room here, and I want to make it so that you can inside this. So let's go ahead and grab this here. I was saying I was going to finish all my mechanics this. I don't know, I've decided I would design something. Tired of thinking of mechanics. Most of them are already set. Really not that many left to go. How much do I want to restructure this? I'm debating on this. Probably not that much. I think I'm just gonna make a special little room you can sneak into if you run through the pipes. I realized that I had everything set up where you had to go into everywhere, and that's weird. That's not really a Metroidvania at all. Like, should be have the option. Completely ignore things if you want. I mean, some things I can't ignore, but I don't think you need to. There should be optional rooms. That's my feeling on it. Weird that they changed that in the latest UE. You click the little component there, and then it brings this option, and then you can select all adjacent. Like many of UE's updates, it's not as efficient as the real way they did it, but okay. Easy to be able to click on it, surface, and select all adjacent, so it's an extra click that didn't need. I'm gonna need a sphere as well. Cylinder, I should say. Actually, go ahead and delete that first. And I'm gonna select the other one. Hit it first, and then I'm gonna make it. Just so I can be a little lazier. Not. Apparently you can't do that trick anymore? Nice. Alright, well... Make my life harder, why don't you? And I'm gonna want... Probably quite a few sides, honestly. Gotta do it this way. That wrong. I had to make this wall first. Because it works on the last one, has priority. the last one you make. So the order of operations makes all the difference. Oh, I accidentally deleted the other one somehow. I don't recall deleting the other one, but whatever. All adjacent surfaces. I did that right. Armed with that. Let's make a duplicate of the cylinder brush. One, because it doesn't override. New cylinder brush. Jam it through the Pro. Ram it farther through the wall. Just maybe 1.1. That's right, I haven't built a ceiling yet. Hey Mike, how's it going? I don't know why I was looking at the bottom of the chat, not the top of the chat. Like Restream has a weird chat where it's shows up at the top and not the bottom. Sitting around being a bit miserable because I got a crown and my mouth is all sore from it, but I was working on game things anyway. I'm like, I guess I'm gonna work on game stuff. But you know, I don't hate working on the game stuff. Just a little sad that I limited on what I'm allowed to drink. I was gonna have some alcohol, and then they're like, "Well, you were numbed, so probably should wait 24 hours." I'm like, but alcohol would make the pain less bad. But they are right. I would. Yeah, I've been using YouTube a bunch of times. It's just like I keep streaming at times that I don't think you're up. I just do both and hope that one of them has people chatting at any given time. Because it's way more fun if at least one of them has chatting. Oh yeah, I was a soda drinker when I was younger. I got crowned. Had some root canals pour too. Best advice: don't drink soda. Just terrible, terrible crap. You should never drink it. Mistakes were clearly made. Oh, clearly made. I have a secret area in here. probably have like a loop of like slightly smaller things. And I'll put the things in it so she can grip her way up too. Yeah, there you go. See, good on you for giving it up. It's an abomination. I think it's the best term for it. It's just an abomination. I do 6, no 5.5 instead on these. Kind of an odd thing to do, but it's this better. Yeah. Sometimes I wonder if I even have teeth left, if they're all just, you know, made out of weird substances by the dentist. I feel like a ghost making the game. Oh yeah, and you can't convince people that that stuff's bad. Yeah, this is my, on a different note, this is my new, chapel area. Decided to do a bit of restructuring of that crappy Hierophant room that I used to have. Being this much nicer looking one with all sorts of stuff in it. I mean, it's a small chapel, of course. I don't know if you saw this, you can actually pull yourself up on things now, too. So. Oh, yeah, I mean, that's probably just the green screen being weird. Oh, I can fix it. Filter. It filter. That, let's do. It'll fit. Smoothness will do it. I think. There you go. Sometimes I have to adjust it for the green screen. No, it's pretty much the biggest issue ever. It had to be fixed. Oh my god. Yeah, I have my yeah, this doesn't need to be this dumb little statue. Oops. This is my reference to Annabelle. Very important. I have to actually put the actual figure in though, but you know. He's just gonna watch you as you walk by. You can't technically open this, but I'll find a way to make it breakable. Like, I'll do something and then have her break out or something. Did that light up now? And now the star lights up too. It can trade sanity for health, and it can also trade health for sanity, so you can go farther in the darkness. And if it's trading for the other way, it changes the other direction. Very useful if you want to stay in the dark for longer at the cost of your health, of course. I mean, you can make it destructible if you want. There's a destruction option. You have it for some stuff. I don't want to break the whole thing though. I just want the glass to break. There's no way to make just the glass break. I think all layers in that. I might just have something other container for that doesn't have glass, and then add the glass in as a separate object, and then have a separate actor, and then have that breakable. Well, the problem with this is that this is one solid object. It doesn't. It's not like the glass is separated from anything. I'd actually need to have some sort of cupboard or something that doesn't have an actual thing on it, and then I could do it. So, and this one's not very good, right? Could be though, maybe. I could use this particular one here and then put glass over the front of it. And I could just change the cupboard mesh, probably. Maybe a texture one? One of these has to be changed. Actually, what am I doing? I don't gotta do all that. It's like a lot of extra effort. I'll just find one of the normal textures I use and just tile that down there instead. A lot of times I just want the shape of something. I don't care about the rest of it. The instant wood. Let's say I get rid of this. And instead I put her in another container. Not that big. That'd be pretty big for her to fit in it, that was the problem. She's pretty tall. Probably like this, actually. Move her up. My placeholder thing there. And then I take glass and put it over it. Put the cross up. And I'll, for just temporarily, I'll put a plane over it. Nah, well, now let's do a plane over it. It doesn't need to be. I'll build the breakable later. All right, so we put this here. And that is set up. We'll use instant wine glass right now. There you go. Now she has a thing there, and I can just make that little that breakable later because it's two separate things, as opposed to the previous thing. My plan was have some sort of point in the game cause her to break out. What's floating? I mean, these things are supposed to be floating because they're possessed. This is a little higher up than it should be, that's true. Okay, well, don't snap the floor. This should actually be about there or something. I'm gonna have to make some changes so that you can actually do the grippy things a little better. But, what I'm probably going to do is make it so that when Poppet's standing on these, she's actually just moves her sprite down a little bit. Oh, sorry, sprite, her model down a little bit. So it looks like that she's standing naturally on it, because I don't know if I want to replace every collision in the game just to try to make these work. I mean, this is on the table. It's got the little tiny spindly legs below it. That's what you're talking about. She floats a bit because she's actually standing on the level block thing. Yeah, I'm gonna probably just change it so she literally just gets moved down a bit when she senses one of these level blocks. It'll be kind of ghetto by comparison, but I don't hate it just because I don't want to redo the collision on literally everything. This probably needs to get shoved backwards a bit too. Could make it thicker. Well, I mean, you'll be able to see the legs when you're playing, right? This Poppet's tiny. It does count as floating a bit, doesn't it? It was a little... That was a little higher than that. I am going to have to basically replace every table surface with the collision of these things instead, or redo all the stuff to make them work. I don't know, because some of these things will look like they're floating, or I can just move it directly down a little bit into this level thingy, and then it'll work too. I'm going to decide, because I'm going to have to do a bunch of changing later, but for now I'm just placing these in place, and then I'll deal with the collision later. Well, I could put stuff there, I don't know. One of the things is if I put a bunch of stuff here, there is less space to play around in this area. Could have little enemies down here to fight. It's kind of small for enemies though, so I don't know about that. Maybe I'll have like 1 or 2 enemies or just collectibles around it. Like I might have enemies up here where there's actual space to fight them. It's almost enough space to put a couple enemies, just have them to fight them. But there might be some option to hide it. I don't know. There's only so much I can do to hide it too. I need really just something to put in there that would fit. None of these will get the job done. Unless I want candles. Not sure if I like candles that much. It doesn't really hide anything either. Anything that probably shows off more what's happening there, doesn't it? Make like a little ghetto structure for it. Actually, that's true. I can make a structure. I have a plan. If I do this, I need to move this up so I can find it. If I change it on one, does it change it on all? That's not gonna work. Maybe like 1.4. Unlock it and then just do 1 on this one here. Oops. Yeah, that's something I'm looking at a little better here. Could set up other candles too. Little crystals here, I guess, to collect. I don't know why I have them here, but sure, they can be here. Yep. Let me move down a little bit though, and just have it stuffed into this. Because these little collision thingies are always going to be a problem. Yeah, it did seem better. Thanks for suggesting it. Plus now it could be interactable. I'm not going to make the destructible yet, but I'm definitely going to have to play around with the collision of those things though. I might end up, I don't know, I'll fix those later. Lay it out first and then worry about the hiding these things so they get the job done. Overall, I'm pretty satisfied with this room. It's got mostly what it needs to do. I'll probably need to add in some enemies later. I'm still not sure if I'm going to make like a another circus style room here or not. If I'm going to use more than one of those, or if I'm just going to have only the one. I do got a lot of circus assets I could play with. I already kind of used them from a little carnival room thingy. So I almost feel like it should have been this room that had both, like that thing there to just kind of continue the thing here, but now it's kind of a break between the two, so it's like that can work. Is that what I do? I don't know. I'm not sure about this room. This was going to be like the room where you rescue one of the characters. Get the character. And then you unlock the first painting and throw the character into it to unlock the character here. Save, cool. Training room, like for what that room should be, a training room. I mean, it's supposed to. It's not really teaching any mechanic other than rescuing someone at this point. I thought about putting the little blocks as a mechanic in here, and I might put it in at some point. But I have to rescue this character, so I'll put it right here. certain all that's working. Consider just having more, that's like just more toys to play with. I have both the characters here to test with. Wait a minute. Why can't this be uncursed? You go into the painting actually pretty quickly, because you go from the Toy Maker's Workshop, which I need the assets to build still, into the painting world, and then you jump out to the carnival room. Head disappearing? Wait, what? Bump light on the... What's going on? Head disappearing? Why couldn't this be saved? Off that, click on her painting. Also, is there a player start anywhere on here? I have crap everywhere. Oh, the player starts right here. Well, yeah, I turned it on and off. I was clicking the button, turned on and off. Like if you quit the magician, it turns it on. But you can turn the magician off, or you just click the button again to make the hat go away and no longer counts as the magician being on. Or if I switch weapons, it makes the hat go away and then the weapon appears. This was working. Now it is not. Why is it not working? Total other level, free painting. Yeah. Spent so long trying to get this mechanic set up so that I could actually rescue people and have them appear in the other world. It involved creating a whole save system because it does not save information between levels like that. You have to send it to either the game, yeah, it's like the game state or something like that. There's a file that specifically is a real file, and that saves it. Is it not far enough forward? Is that like a thing? That could be it. That's part of the problem. So it's not actually hitting the painting. Yeah, it's actually harder to save between levels than you'd think, but you also don't necessarily have to have completely different areas. Like, I could have just stuck with one level, but the painting world's so different that it's kind of weird. There we go. I gotta fix Tinka because she's going the wrong one. I'm probably gonna switch her to the 2D model anyway. Save, lift. Can be lifted. I can remove that stupid print string because there was no problem. I created a problem because it was something dumb of just jamming the object in the wall, so the little ray trace that was going out of the character just wasn't sensing it because it was hitting the wall instead. Because it doesn't hit the glass, it hits the thing behind it. Why can you not be lifted? You can be lifted. Made her hat vanish. Doesn't do anything though. Now why can't you be lifted? Actually, should be the opposite of this one, right? Getting her to stay within the painting while moving was so much work. She just doesn't want to do that. It would have been easy if she could move in 3D, but she had to stay in a 2D world, and then it had to change depending on how she rotated it. I only have it set for every 90 degrees because I'm not going to put the paintings at like 20 degrees or anything weird like that. Why aren't you savable? What's different about this guy? Makes him savable, and not the other. Can be lifted, can be saved, but I thought the only two that mattered. It's just information that Spawn has had. Everything's on VPNPC. Sure, savable's on. Oh, thanks. I'm definitely, if nothing else, an art guy. Coding, I like to pretend. All the other stuff, anyway. Writing. Let's see. I think it has to have can be interacted with. There's a bunch of things that need to be in place for a character to be moved around. What tags do you have? Can't interact maybe is the problem. Yeah, she needs that. I had added in because otherwise the stupid ray trace coming out of Poppet would hit everything and cause all kinds of problems. So now it only really does something if it checks for various tags. No, you. This one. I appreciate it. I'm definitely going to let the Discord do bug testing. I also have a roommate I'm going to con into it as well. But she has not been saved. I know why she has not been saved. To really make this test work, I have to change the game mode. World override. There should just be no override. I had to make a special game world thingy so that I could actually just show up in areas and like where I was at with the camera instead of having it start at each of these special areas, which kind of obnoxious. I'm not gonna lie. It's like game of base class done. That's right. She can be saved, right? Not lifted because I don't want her lifted. Might not work for the test because I took that off of that level. It's not set up very well to test things unless you're going to play a whole thing. There's actual screen fades, and I'm working on having various like pictures and like, you know, text going on between the loading things and everything like that, kind of like Skyrim, except for without the moving them around because I'm just not savvy enough to pull that off. And they don't work when you're testing it like this. They only work if you actually run it as a separate game. I'm not doing that right now because I have to go through and rebake the game in order to do that, and that takes forever. What happened? Why this? Okay. Shouldn't be overriding the game mode. Now it should just be normal game mode. No game mode. Wait, game mode new. Not overridden. Okay, new game mode. I think I did the wrong thing. Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't had more jumping into paintings before. But yeah, now I'd have to go through everything to test it because this game mode forces you to go back to wherever it's saved. So in order to make this test much more effective for what I want to do, much easier in general, I'm just going to take her and slam her by this painting as my test. Also that dead character up there, dead Poppet. Oh, that human Poppet. Okay, I want you to select this. The newest version of UE has a very weird bug where it likes to leave certain things selected no matter what you do. I need all the stuff to finish this area up. I need a bunch of machines and stuff to make it more like a Frankenstein type of setup. But also have her hanging dead from the ceiling. Good work. I have to make a bunch of characters that you can rescue. I can't decide if I want to make them all 2D or not. Like, I thought about it, and they're around the painting world, so if I made them all intentionally 2D, that might be kind of cool. Plus, it cuts my costs a bunch. Of course, the two I already have made are not like that. Because, I mean, I got Boozeberry here who's been made, and we didn't load his hat for whatever. And Annie's on here, so I'd have to make 2D characters to replace them, but then I can also use these characters as enemies. This is not here. Do not clear this? Hmm. I actually have a working start menu and everything too. I just don't ever use it. Well, I need to have settings done. I haven't made settings for it. I need to move the lighting thing so that it actually is on her and hold it around her instead of where it is now, where it's just a weird space. You could have different locations you appear in the painting world, though. You just had everything one time you appear in the box in the center and make. I set it up so that her legs move while she uses these abilities. Still not here, huh? This is troubling. Yes. Yes, indeed. Troubling. Okay, so she is supposedly here. She literally can be saved. I checked that many times. Um, it's probably a little more complicated than that. I have this backup game mode whose purpose is to make it so I can actually just spawn in random places, and I did some extra things to change how the character spawns in locations. Spawning the character where you want in UE is harder than you think. Like, moving them once you've already put them on level is very easy, but spawning them where you would like on a level is much harder. It's one of the few gripes I have with UE. I have no idea why they made it as hard as they did. Like our pose got fixed on the first screen. I don't remember doing that, but okay. This painting is not actually beer. This is just my test painting. The actual painting is going to be up on a table above it. I'm about to move Annie's on right next to this box to make the testing faster. If it doesn't work this time, I'm going to do that. Shouldn't be this hard. I don't see her. What are you saying? Let's spawn it, but not that location, or blow map for you. Not quite sure what you're saying there. Not that location, or blow map floating up. Throw it off screen. See, what's happening is these are two separate levels, and you can't throw something from one level to the next. You either have to have some kind of level streaming where it's just one level and you're tricking them into making the one level look like two different levels, which is possible. Or you have to basically tell it to do something on the other map, such as spawn them in. In my case, what it's doing is they're calling on Poppet to see if, Poppet has them, saved them or not, and if they are, then they show up, or if not, then they destroy themselves at the start of every map. That's where it makes it easy for me to, I can just place them where I want and not have to worry about it. Somewhere along the line, I messed it up. Put them both over here so I can rescue them both very quickly. Test it. The process of doing this was much harder than you think. It is so much work. I was surprised how much work it was. It just made no sense to me how much work it turned out to be. Well, what it has to do is it has to save the information somewhere so that when I get to the next map, it can read that. And it doesn't save characters like Poppet or anything like that. Like, none of that's actually saved. The only thing that's actually saved is a game mode, which is a temporary save, and the save file, which I'm saving to each time you go between levels, so you don't have to. Yeah, because the save file is just a physical file that's written. Everything else is destroyed. So what happens is I add Poppet collects a thingy. Poppet. So it's just, I believe it's event name of item collected. Yeah. These things tell Poppet, they call this event on Poppet saying, hey, I've collected this. And then it goes into here and it adds to whichever thing is supposed to have it, like all the various variable things that can have it, including these things here. And then when she goes to save, all of these things here are then crammed into a structure, and then they're stuffed into the save game info. And then when she appears on a new level, yeah, load the game, it deploys the save him, and basically it takes all the information from that structure and puts it right back out in all her stuff. The Poppet has it. And then, because that's just not enough weirdness, if they can be spawned when they're called in like that, if I have savable on, it'll call Poppet one more time and be like, hey, do you have this? Poppet goes, do I? She checks her collection of toys to see if she has something and then returns if she does or not. And if she does, it stays, and if not, it destroys itself. Yeah, to move the information around, because I had to create a whole save system just to make this work. I needed the save system anyway, but you can't just hand things between maps like that. It is not how it works. That whole save the RPG Maker has and the global variables, well, technically global variables do exist if you put them on the game mode itself. They don't save, but they persist between levels. So those would be where you'd have your globals. So I could put everything on there, but then I have to call the game mode for everything, and I don't know. I use Poppet as my storage for everything because it's really easy for her to just check the world as she moves around and not have everything call her in order to do it. And then the only time it matters for them calling her is literally when they're first spawned in. But there's even more to it because there's a game mode too involved, and it's a nightmare is my explanation for, like, I don't understand why they did this. So on the Poppet Quest game mode, it actually has a special thing to check the player start, and it finds where the player start was and puts them in the right location. If you don't do this, Unreal Engine will randomly place you at a player start on the level, or if you only have one, it'll place you at the one. Yeah, it is just, like I say, I don't have a lot of gripes with UE. But their system for handing info between levels and spawning people places is way harder than it should be. I don't know why they made it this hard. Sometimes you'll go out of the way to make something really a pain, and then other things will be the easiest thing in the world. Now, to be fair, you could just get a game in a box or a pre-made save system. I actually have some pre-made save systems. I thought about using them, but I had already made this. That's still here. But saving progress in a level requires extra effort. Like I said, there's all kinds of things on the market that'll do it. I've got full game in a boxes. Like, heck, this month they're giving out another... Come on. This month they're actually giving out a turn-based strategy RPG thing. And it's got built-in saving too, so you don't have to do anything for you. Got all these cool things. You can even do X grid if you want. And interactable, so it's like a whole game in a box. So they have things like that. They even have specialized save things too. Complete save system, save extension. I think complete save system is for an old version UE though. Oh, this is the 5.4. It was slots and everything. I might use this still. But I've already set all this up except for the... I have to reset up the stupid thingy here for those. I don't know. I hate using other people's code because then I gotta try to figure out how they did their code. And that can be its own pain. It's literally just like RPG Maker. Each one of these is like their own little RPG Maker. But if you just use a game in a box and save yourself the trouble of what I'm doing, like I'm making everything from scratch. They have complete projects. I have this code plugins. So I have a few code plugins available as well. Plenty other ones. I just took the ones I might use. I got all these like pre-made things there. Action RPG multiplayer. Their action RPG in a box. Which ones are actual full games? Complete RPG, it's basically The Witcher. Their dialogue systems. Which ones are full games? Full game. JRPG template would also do it. I mean, the horror engine makes horror games. Lyra is a third-person shooter in a box made by Epic themselves, actually. Moore's RPGs is yet another Skyrim knockoff. Point and click adventure toolkit makes point and click adventures. I have a lot of these stupid things. These like game in a boxes. Yeah, you know, GGG couldn't make their own version of these. It's so weird to me. Top-down RPG, top-down starter kit. It's an RPG. Third-person story adventure. More point and click walking things. That turn-based strategy thing. Another turn-based JRPG, but this is 3D. Yeah, so much crap. Visual novel framework too. They want to make a visual novel. So many toys. A lot of these are free right now. All those would do it, and you don't have to do all this weird crap I'm doing. I just had to be unique. So I gotta make it all myself. I could use some other people's stuff and try to merge it in. I have done that. Like, there's no actual built-in fade the screen for some reason. Now, you can make a fade the screen. You have a camera, and the camera has all these post-processing things, and one of the things you could just do is just turn the screen black to make your own fade. Then you gotta do that. It's not that many extra clicks, but I use the plugins. Someone also said, well, you could just put a black square in front of the screen and then fade the black square out. I would just use UE4. I don't think UE5 brings a lot to the table for most people. I'll go ahead and say it. I think UE5 makes things really complicated. In a lot of ways, it doesn't need to. It has some really neat systems if you're a AAA developer, and basically useless for everybody who's not. I think, yeah. I mean, UE4 runs on an old computer. Like, it really does. Like, it ran on my 1060, like, and I was streaming while doing it. It was easy. UE5, I mean, you probably need like a 360 or better to run. Yeah, there's some things that are better. It's just like things like Lumen require way more processing power. And now in UE5, you're stuck with only Lumen. Like, there's not, like, the only other option is some experimental crap. So it's like lighting, I believe. I forgot what it was to change it. Yeah, the dynamic illumination thing here, you have screen space, which is, you know, a beta that looks terrible. A plugin where you just use someone else's lighting. Or no, they actually took out the original lighting system. Yeah. They also took out the reflection method too, so now you're just stuck with that, and that's a 5.4 thing. And, you know, Lumen's cool. It's got its moments. It's really good, but... yeah, Lumen's nice. Its upside is that the movable lights are better. You don't have to bake lighting. Its downside is it requires a lot more to do it. Like a lot more processing. It's still not really good with lights. As awkward as this might sound, if you take a light like this and put it in the screen, Lumen is not good with this. Lumen doesn't like this at all. Like you sit there and you put a bunch of these lights here, and Lumen will have a hissy fit. It hates this. Let's see. Optimization, light complexity. Oh, it's light density. No. What was it? One of these two. Alright. Okay, so you see, like, this shows how much lighting is in a thing here, like that, as far as Lumen's concerned. And you can tell here that it gets over the side here. This is too complicated. This is going to cause extreme performance problems. And this is good. Like, this is what you want. Like, the blue is good. So for Lumen to work, you have to have emissive materials, materials that give off light. It's very good with that. I had to change my light so that the material itself gives off light. Somehow that's different than putting a light in the thing. Or attaching one of these lights to it. You can see the difference of these. But this lamp here is set to on, right? Yeah, this lamp is on. It's considered green. You see where, like, it's all happy by itself? You put two of these lamps next to each other, they're still green. But they're multiple lights. Oh, actually, I turned this on, my bad. Not the same. Yeah. Turn them all on. And if you go back to normal lit, you can see there's like 3 lights here. And it's happy. Lumen's weird. I've had to redo all my lights so that this material itself is what's lit up. It's let's see, instant plastic glossy, I think. I swap it though, not plastic glossy. That's the one. It's I actually got this idea from the other thing there. Yeah, I swap it to a different one here. Actually, do I even swap it? Plastic glossy too? Yeah, I do. No, I don't. They just have a thing where you can change the dynamic material stuff because they've set it up to change these parameters to make them so they're emissive. Other ones I just have an emissive material and I just swap them instead. And that's been what I've been doing. But it took my game from like getting 15 FPS to like 40. Yeah, it's... these are the things that I've been learning about over time. They're just like, yeah, this is how you do things to make it way better. I've been avoiding just dragging lights on there unless I'm just using it as a way to feed in order to build the level. And am I deleting important characters? I think I am. any of the characters here. It's these stupid extra lights I don't need. Point light. That's Boozeberry's point light. But I don't need this point light. And you can see they're not so bad when it's just the characters. Even then, the character has an extra one they don't need. This character actually has 2 for some reason. I'll probably need an emissive light above them just because that's the thing. But yeah, like I would just use UE4. Like seriously, UE5 does not bring a lot to the table for most people. It just requires a computer that's like 5 times the computer to run. And Lumen's neat, but unless you're using mechanics that really merit light differences. No. Second. At least that's what I found. I would definitely give UE4 a test though. I mean, it's old. Doesn't require much. I would just add all the free downloads to your thing anyway. I mean, might as well. Wonder if it is. It is. Most of the assets were made for, or the projects were made for UE4 anyway, and have just been upgraded to UE5. UE5 is only like, I think it's like 7 or 8 months old. Maybe even, not even a year yet. And it's just, maybe it's 9 months old. Like, nobody's had time to make games in it. Nobody. So, like, all the big games, no one's made a big game in this yet. It just sounds cool on paper, but any big game would take a million years to make anyway, so. I expect AAA games to not have anything in there for like the next 2 or 3 years. It'll probably be cool when it finally shows up. Definitely does a lot of things to help me out. There's other things that I just absolutely hate though. Like the new cloth system is so much heavier. And I don't know why, because it looks about the same to me. They have a new way to destroy objects, which looks basically the same, but is also heavier in UE5. Like, there's definitely some things I don't like about UE5. I need to drag Boozeberry over there too. What are you saying? That's fair. I mean, they've got action game in a box stuff too. One of the things is if you just make a new project in UE, it already has the ability to jump around like a crazy person. It does. So it's not even that bad. Just like you're just good to go. Oh. Oh. Funny. Copy that and drag it back to. Don't drag it here. Must have screwed something up. I don't know what. Yeah, I mean, there's so much built in for jumping and stuff. There's plenty of like action game stuff that you just instantly make your stuff. It's not that bad. I definitely found it to be not hard to find a lot of those kinds of things. Platformers are so easy to make in UE. Like there's like whole tutorials you can just follow. Like within one night, you'll have a passable platform. Maybe 2 nights if you've just never ever touched UE. It only took me like about 1 night to have a passable platformer, so. All right, neither of them are counted as saved. What have I messed up? Oh yeah, like where was it? Let me find the tutorial I followed. 1 second. This is literally the one that I ended up doing. And, I mean, he just showed me actually how to do a simple 2D platformer. Which you might not want to do a 2D one necessarily, but UE4 just has an easy 2D project you can use. So, like you just, like it has 2D with a sprite and 2D with a model. Just it's pre-made projects. You don't gotta do anything special. And then he just shows you how to alter that to make a decent 2D platformer. Wow. Decent might be a strong word, but a passable 2D platform. I actually have a pretty good platformer thing. I was thinking of making one at one point, then I didn't bother. I was gonna make a 2D Metroidvania, so let's see. It apparently does not count as its own separate project. Yeah, I have this one. Mute it for the trailer, but no sound just in case YouTube hates me for it, but and it's just ready to go. Like you can just do all kinds of crazy stuff with it. I was laughing when freaking GGG couldn't make their own game in a box. Like these are maybe like one person, and they're able to make these game in a box things that are actually pretty cool, all things considered. You know. Yeah. This one sadly you have to pay for, but it actually has its own flipbook animation system and everything like that too. Which you don't technically need because Paper ZD exists and it does basically the same thing, but it just had this whole system already made that did so much of the work. Because they custom made all this stuff, so I was like, maybe I'll build this, but then I didn't. It didn't look as cool to me as the 3D thing. It wasn't what I wanted. But yeah, I'll just advance past things. Destroyable tiles, things like that. Big pre-made game map. Yeah, I mean, it's got lots of stuff. It's got the Diablo style thing at the bottom. It's got a Diablo inventory set up. All the platform thingies made for you. All kinds of stuff just done. And you can just kind of drag them on the levels, and you don't have to do anything special. You just build your game entirely out of these if you felt like it. Might be kind of boring to not use anything extra, like portal things and stuff going through portals. That's kind of cool. I mean, you know, they did the work. There's even a boss at the end too. Remade for you. Comes with all these tile sets as well. I think it wasn't that cheap though, but I'm pretty certain a sale is going to come up soon, right? I actually don't know what it costs. Let me check. I have to open it in a browser because I can open it in a browser that way I don't actually have it. I'm gonna attempt to open it in a browser. Alright. Blah blah blah. Let me find it real quick. Yeah, that one's kind of expensive. It's like 80. It goes on sale for like 40 bucks all the time, but there's cheaper versions if you really want a 2D thing. There's so many of them on the marketplace. Yeah, I'll be here. Just groping around, making things. Trying to solve this mystery why this is broken. Definitely tell that Twitch is not popping today. Sometimes Twitch gets me a few people. So random. Okay, well, let's start with the obvious. Do I have this? Not print a screen. Screen is dumb. Put it in this fine pink here. Kind of an important mechanic to have broken. Don't have it, okay. False, false. Yeah, it's not saving it. Alright. Party begin as I try to solve the mystery of why this mechanic is totally broken. Alright, so on Poppet, let me make certain she even picks it up. I suspect it's breaking on the save itself. Didn't message Poppet at all. Okay. Maybe you can play a character. That's oh. on. I hate when things like these are broken. Can be saved false. Wait, what? Hmm. Right, because Tinka's being spawned, she's causing problems with it. She's overlapping the thing and confusing it. Oh, she's confusing the messages. It's not really breaking the actual thing because it only teleports if it fulfills the other conditions, but see, that fixes some stuff here. I ran out of the thingy to pick him up. Oops, forgot about that's the thing. It's made my life way harder by adding in that already. Is there nowhere to recover curse in this area? That's a problem. Not really using this map particularly much, but balancing these is going to be such a problem. Hmm. Where before I mess with the construction scripts? Let me double check that. Got a built-in can be saved on in the first place. Right, this way. I'm not sure on this one here, but we'll see where it breaks. That's a 2. Okay. It looks like it's identifying the player just fine. The name of item collected is most assuredly not working. Oh, it should be right, because the only time it calls Poppet's name is right here. Name of item collected on Poppet is not triggering. Oh. I might have been doing a lot of dumb there. It'd be a perfect night to drink. Too bad. Not a good video. Yep, happens all the time. The one line. That just explains why it wasn't saying. Okay, so it says I have unlocked Boozeberry. Then it says false on them, so like it added them. The value was true. We know now that it actually does add. That is accurate. So the problem is not here or any of these places. The problem is literally in the game mode, which should have been an obvious, you know, thing that would be a problem. Only this. All that was just to see if something worked. We've established none of those are the problem. Delete these two, I don't need them. Project settings. You cannot do the name. You should do. Oh, wait. Only untrue. I thought this would just be a quick little stupid test, but I had to break something. I gotta equip it. Yeah, it didn't say for you said that all didn't print it either. It didn't unlock this painting either. And this is clearly the problem, is the game mode. This is the right one. Project settings, it's very much loading this one. Okay. Wait. DP instance game save. I want to check something on a new level. Nothing is selected on that. This should all be exactly fine. These are all the default settings, not overridden. All the that thing should do is dictate if I land in a certain area. I don't think it should actually dictate much else. It shouldn't dictate the saving. Well, I guess I should check to see if the save itself is, if it's broken before it saves. I see. That'll tell me if it's valid. I'm also gonna do a cast failed. I just talked about how ridiculously complicated it was and about that. I do have a trigger set up so that it doesn't actually try to load the saves on the first time, because what'll happen is it would load nothing, so it needs to save everything the first time, and then the next time it loads, so maybe it doesn't trigger that, and it just isn't loading the save information. I'll go to yet another map and see if this map is default automatically unlocked. Oh. It looks like it's saving. Oh, nodding. All right, well. You know what, there's something that might be broken on Poppet. I'm gonna check one other thing before I get too crazy. That has its own graph. Wait a second. Does loader create save? It's obviously not getting to that point. Let's go to the save first and just work our way from there. Let's just see if it finds it before we get crazy. See if it's talking to it. I got Poppet starts out all squished. This is game save. It didn't talk to it at all. I get the feeling the wrong one is selected. What are you? One I thought was the right one. Where's the other one? Which one's the right one? That's the one I did. Okay. Ah. Unselected is currently this one. It could have worked, but not really. The one I want is actually this. That will save out the much smarter version. I've been using the wrong file all along. I just didn't realize I had two of them, and one was just the old version hiding out somewhere. I love how she squished. It's so funny. Oh, that grippy is pretty strong. Game start, so that's interesting to see. That's not game loaded. It did save. Didn't load. But it did target the save thing. I'm gonna rename this other one to avoid this problem again. I don't know how I could end up with two in the first place. I only had one, I was just changing the main one, but apparently that's true. And when it goes to BP save game, which BP save game are we? Sounds right. Change this to old. See if I can differentiate it. I don't want to accidentally delete the important one. There are a lot of UE nights where I have to solve some bizarre problem I've created. You get used to it after a while. The main menu map has the lets me delete and add new save files, so I may still use that other person's save system if it's easier to use than what I'm currently doing, which is a pain. Game start says fine, but game load does not do it. You know it's finding the file. Am I not setting this? Is it 100% it's the right one I'm messing with, so I don't look like an idiot again. Alright, so if this is the case, that variable's here. Right. Has to be down here. Has to be done before set game to slot. And action needs to be done before this, so if false, kind of jank, but it'll do. Is there a set property? I don't think so. Whatever, this should work. It's really janky, and I need to remember to change it later for other purposes, but that's okay. Just right here, because this tells it never to load the save thing, basically. Set variables. We do that, then on load variables, it's gonna get to here. And hey, is it? I had this set up originally. Such a complicated system. Would have to set it and save. Nowhere else makes sense. What does it here? You say if it works as long as it won't break. Pretty much, yeah. Just kind of where I'm at with that. Oh. I'll take a quick bio break and be back in like a minute. See if I can figure this out. I might just shelve it for the moment and continue working on levels instead and figure it out later when I have a clearer head for it. I don't know. Anyway, I'll be right back. Okay. Back again. So, I thought this would be a really simple fix. I'm sitting there going, oh. Oh, thanks. Yeah. So many problems going on here. So game load has to happen. So she has to call the save game. Pick it up and call you. Perfect timing for that. That was the beginning track for the RPG Maker one there. So just as I clicked to start on this, it plays that. I was like, wait a second, am I playing the other one? What am I hearing here? Oh my god. Give me flashbacks to that awful RM game. Jesus. I might still use the track. I do like the track. I just don't think I'm gonna use it necessarily. Depends on how I do the intro. It just never loads the game. The event never happens. Why? What dictates if this happens? This runs upon the start. Like, because begin play literally runs it right here. We know that runs. But it's also what's deploying the save aspect of it too, the save game. Can I just call load the game? Wait a second. The game mode have to do it because this happens before Poppet even exists, right? It sets all this and then it's pulling from there. But it's the game mode itself that has to be doing this. Yeah, sometimes UE is a real pain, and if you're using someone else's setup, you can skip a lot of this. If you're not, you make it from scratch. I mean, it's like building RPG Maker from scratch. I mean, it's what I basically do. But I couldn't find anything that did what I wanted to do, so here we are. Good game instance, starting location, sure. Not the event graph. I feel like I'm missing a critical piece or something. Load game from slot. Let me see where I'm messing up here. There's gotta be something that's stupid. Some places, I might just have to go down the list at every point and figure out where the information is break. I don't want to do. It exists until I leave the level. Like, it's currently saving on Poppet just fine. It's just not actually doing anything beyond that, which is the issue. Like, it should be loading. I had it working and I just tweaked with something that was stupid. Messed it up, but yeah, I'll probably just try it later. False. Okay, well, I probably should have, I mean, that's correct. Sure, that's right. It would be false the first time. Because it creates the game instance after the first time. It does it twice. Why does it do it twice? True. Okay. No load, it skips the load. It does say it's true, though. Means it would cast to this, do this, and then set variables. Load game from slot. Yeah, I'll figure it out later. Get the feeling this is just something that I'm just overlooking, and I've been at it for that long. I can't imagine it's fun to watch me just put print strings everywhere. Well, it's setting it to false the first time, basically, and it says it twice, but after that it's saying it's true, so it's finding it. That's not really the big issue, as far as I can tell. We'll just override that crap, move on with our lives. Let's test if it overrides. It's definitely running it twice to load it. But at that point, once it says true, it should still load it after that one. It doesn't say the false the next time. Okay, so yeah, it does. It's fine. Okay. I have this set to start current camera location. I was gonna make this boss teleport between tables, and he throws food at you while summoning minions to whichever table you're on. I gotta program all that. He's just setting there as my example for my little my little dining room thing. It's gonna have a bunch of changes, but I don't feel particularly inspired to do it right now. Usually on stream, I actually prefer to just make levels or something because it's just boring to watch someone try to solve programming problems. 100%. It's me putting print string over and over and then testing it to see if it works. That's no fun. I don't like anything involved with that. Like this, I don't like anything involved with this either. I could turn this into like some sort of pipe maze. That makes no sense for why the humans would use this room. Like, it can be a toy room for her, I guess. I do have a little pipe maze thing going on here. I was going to do the rescue mechanic in this room. This is the first time you unlock Tinka's Penny, but it might be too quick. The problem with that is it also, every issue with, well, it doesn't save the game. So what's broken is the save system itself. So if I want players to be able to, I don't know, save the game, just in general, I gotta fix it. Because it's not throwing between the things that's wrong. Poppet's actually recording the information just fine. But it's supposed to send that file to the game instance, and then it's supposed to load it again on Poppet when she's in a level, because Poppet is not persistent between levels. Like, she's just a random blueprint, but she's not persistent. So, say the information has to go somewhere that is persistent. So none of the information is going through. So I can't unlock paintings. I can't, you know, when I travel between maps, I lose everything, including what she's, you know, captured. There's no save points in the game anymore because all that's required from there. I mean, yeah. As you can see, it's pretty bad because it's the part that's broken is the thing that affects everything. But I might just use that save plugin. But if I do that, I'll do that off stream because I'll probably have to watch a tutorial or something and yeah, about that. Yeah, true game start. And there you go. I mean, that's. I guess I can have this be the circus room. I made a thing so they appear on the doors. Very exciting. Then you open them, at least you have an idea of what's available on the other side. I had to make an extreme danger one there, like an extra one in there, and have my toy vault. Oh, I know what they wanted to do. Maybe I'll use these. I was going to change this room because I don't really want it to be a giant pentagram anymore. I have better plans. How big this is. Oliver's here. I'm gonna have a bunch of like locked up toys in this room. Including Oliver and Felix. Where I don't have Felix yet, but I will one day. I could just use these pedestal thingies, which might actually be the best idea. Because they just make great display thingies. You can put them all in these cases. If I'm going to do that, though, I might just want to make a special box for them. Also, Oliver's here, she wouldn't even fit. Because I want you to be able to break them out. More complex, you can figure it out or find an implement. I'll be back later if you're logged out. Night to you. Yeah, okay. I may be about, I don't know. Got up early today, but my mouth's been bugging me all day from having got a crown earlier, so I just haven't felt like sleeping, so I might still be here just dicking around. Depends on if I find something exciting to mess with. Kind of in that mood because of the pain in my mouth. Making me very unhappy. Anyway, thanks for dropping by if I'm not still here. And if I am still here, well, I'll still be here. So, yeah. I really want them in glass cases. Maybe these mesh cupboards are just the thing I'm going to use for all of them. Made all this stuff that's not that useful. I'm gonna copy this stuff off the door. I want it destroyable. I don't know if I want it openable. I'm just gonna put placeholders and figure out how I'm gonna program it later because I don't really care about programming it now. It's gonna be pretty big for him though. Or I gotta make them smaller. Because the big floppy ears are just so tall. Big and 4-sized. How big is Poppet in comparison? World. That's probably a fine size for him. I don't know. Go with your foot. Best. Jumping, bouncing. I think I'm gonna make a blueprint for these. An actor. The what prison? Wow, Twitch be not like the best tonight at all. They didn't even have anyone. Alright, fair enough. Checking out all the things there. Anyway. Why did I do it this way? Guess it just didn't matter. Fine. I can spell mesh, I swear. And I have it set a little thicker in general, so we'll just say like 0.3 and 0.3 to make it a little fatter. If I do like 4, it'll be like 5.2. That's pretty acceptable. Like it's, well, I'll default it to 4. It's probably reasonable. It's gonna hold toys in it. Okay. And then let's add a, I guess just a plane to it. Cube's fine. I like cubes because they have both sides. Important. Never mind that one. And he did this anyway, so it's perfectly fine. We'll find a glass for it. Actually, we just... I'm gonna find a specific glass so I don't pull every version of glass from everything and hope it works out. I could use like red instead. That looks kind of horrifying. Let's drag it into the world and see what it looks like. I'll move these around all crazily. Let's do this. Oh. Have a different glass for this. That glass in here. I think glass 1 and 2 is probably okay as well. Do that, I think, because it look better that way, probably. Yeah, I'll use that there, and then I'd like to add a second cube. Call this the name box. Box back. That going, and then being finicky. That's not too bad looking. Maybe it might be need to be a little bigger. Kind of fits actually pretty good in there though, right? I don't hate it. Using Griffey on everything because it looks better. Generate, so it's a little easier. What are you using the doors? Like real fast, what are you using these doors? These are text renders, not even 3D text. Oh. Wow. A reason to do a text render over the other? I don't think so. Yes, you can just directly change the color on these. Oh, never mind. These are 3D text. The text render is to display, this is a weird display thing. I don't know why I'm using text render. I could just do 3D for all of it. Looks like everyone wandered. Think. Hey. Oh. Just everyone wandered on YouTube. That's to be fair, most of them go to sleep by now. Alright, so the plan is that text. Make this call this name text or something like that. Yeah, it's gonna bug me if it's not straight. It's just weird. One of those things. It just bugs me. For the rabbit. That's a little big for this. Probably should just put Oliver on. I probably need a danger sign on top or something like that, right? Some have a bunch of toys that are all, you know, really dangerous and they're all locked in boxes. If I do that, I want it to glow. I'm still going to change this whole room out. It's very bright. The extrude one looks pretty good. I'll have the glass be breakable later. Not really standing in his case very well, is he? What is that? I get the sneaking suspicion the collision is wrong. On this cupboard. Actually, that looks pretty good. Huh. Don't just make great collision for it. Never mind. So... Oh, I know why. Because Oliver's standing really low on his thing for some reason. Why are you standing so low? Maybe it's because he's been enlarged a bunch. Works really good if he's smaller. But at 4, it changes things. What if the box isn't big enough? Let's test. So weird. Or he just ends up, stuck in his thing. Huh. Going backwards. Now he's standing higher up. Now he's standing below it. Now he's standing a little more likely in the center. What was happening here? I have so many questions. Now he's standing in it. Oh, this prison box is actually pretty good. I think it needs a warning on it, though. Yeah, I need a warning. Warning, definitely. Warning. Hacking. Hmm. Could have the name be smaller and then have, like, a bit more text on the bottom, I guess. Which would look better? Multi-line with this? Maybe. Not what I want. I guess the warning can have two different text thingies. I think there'd be a way to have more than one line. I don't think text 3D can have more than one line. There's line spacing. Oh, I'm gonna look this up. Vision lines. I should swap these two. I really think that it should be the name at the top. Make more sense. A little weirder, I guess. If a name was up here, it would probably be a lot better looking anyway, and then put their danger level on them. I want two lines so I could use the same box for every one of them. And so I shall have it. Actually, this. I like verbose names. So later on, I don't have to have special anything to remember what they do. This. Be able to make some special box here. And that'll make this do this. These little toy prisons are great now. Everything I want. Go fix this one up too. Just gonna put it at 90 so it'll bug me otherwise. Pretty big actually. Doesn't need to be this big. Nose. Okay, this needs to be anywhere this big. Traffic opens here. Oh. I love these new boxes. I'm actually tempted to light these up too, because it kind of looks nice. I don't need him, I just need the box. I don't have a Felix yet. Ooh, and a Felix shell exists. I love these boxes. Maybe even cooler later. Might add more to them. That's the best thing about having a blueprint, though. I can just keep adding to it. Is everything going to be a toy trapped in a box? Maybe it is. Hmm. Don't even fit on there. I redo it so they fit. That's because I didn't turn this though. I want something else on them. They just have a nice, good look to them. I need to make it breakable too at some point. I might make a reusable sign that I can put on things too, just so it's like I can put it out there and it glows. I don't hate it. All these candles kind of suck. I don't like them. Kind of say the quality is pretty crap. I have candlesticks up here. I'm sure I like them better, but I think I also don't need to have another pentagram somewhere because it's just going to be the toys room. So if that's the case, I'm just get rid of all these things. They shouldn't be. Makes no sense. Kind of a weird room anyway, but it's kind of already taken over by the other thing there, so we're going to start putting items in places, I guess. Ugh, I just call it issue room tomorrow night. It was so early to go to the dentist. Oh, it's a lot less numb now. It's nice. Fast though. Yeah, I think we'll call it. Tomorrow we'll do more visual things like that. I'm gonna just only ever do programming off stream, I think. It's just too much of a pain to try to do on stream. It's not fun to watch. I'd much rather design levels and graphical stuff on stream because that's just better to watch. Maybe I'll design combat on stream or something, but I think I'd try to design areas. Means look at the areas done a lot faster than anticipated, and all the programming probably slower, but I don't know. Gives me a chance to talk to people anyway. See. Anyway, thanks to those who watched. Thanks to those who watch in the future, and I'll be back tomorrow night. But catch you later.